Good morning, everybody. My name is Martin Mandeo, sometimes mispronounced Mandu, and I have learned to live with that. If I look like Al Capone, please believe me, I'm not a mafia. It's all for a good cause. I'd like to welcome everybody to Vuyo's Cuppa For CANSA. I'll tell you a little bit later about Vuyo. This function this morning is live, is on technology, and we are at the mercy of technology. Vuyo is a reverend, and she has put in a special request for the gremlins not to creep in this morning. And if the gremlins do creep in, just go with the flow. We'll get everything back to normal. Today, we would like to welcome all of you to Vuyo's Cuppa For CANSA. It's a virtual event. We are required to be sipping our favorite beverage. Mine is Maheu, made by me. It's non-alcoholic. At CANSA, we strongly discourage the consumption of alcoholic and intoxicating beverages. Let me talk a little bit about our event this morning. But before I do that, I'd like to explain a short difference between two things, between two words. The one word is cancer, the disease, and the other word is CANSA, the organization. So CANSA is spelled C-A-N-S-A. It means South Africa can. It's a play on the word cancer, which is the disease. So don't get too confused when you speak of cancer and CANSA and wonder what. It's basically two related terms. We are sitting, sipping our cuppa this morning. Really, the cuppa really is a reason for us to raise funds for the Cancer Association of South Africa, CANSA, that is. We come together as friends, we come together as family and colleagues to drink this cup, but really, we want you to give money to the Cancer Association. It's a good cause. Our theme this year for the Cuppa and for CANSA is Seasons of Change. Why have we chosen this theme, Seasons of Change? You know, South Africa is fortunate to have 4 seasons. I've been to places closer to the equator which only have 2 seasons, the dry season and the wet season. In South Africa, we have 4 seasons. And CANSA is like these 4 seasons. It never leaves us. There's the winter, summer, autumn, and spring of CANSA. CANSA doesn't take a break. But through it all, the Cancer Association of South Africa's CANSA, that is, remains steadfast and works hard to support all those who are affected, all those who are suffering from cancer throughout all their stages of the disease, through all the seasons that they are going through with cancer. We help individuals, we help families and loved ones to cope no matter the season. Hence, our theme this morning, Seasons of Change. When we toast with our beverage, it's because we're wanting to be disruptive. We are disrupting the abuse of alcohol and intoxicating beverages. So when I say cheers, it means let us opt for a healthy lifestyle. So cheers to a healthy lifestyle, everybody. Cheers. It's going to be an exciting morning today. We've got prizes, we've got presentations, and very exciting things you'll see as we go along. So please enjoy, relax, and enjoy this cuppa with us. We'll be giving away prizes, but we'll talk about that later on. I'd like you to know that our target for this morning's function is 50,000 Rand. So I'm hoping that with your support and your friends and your colleagues and your wide network, we can actually top 50,000. 50,000 is the minimum we're hoping to get. So can we shoot the stars? And let's give generously. You know, for those of us who believe, we are told in the Bible that God loves a cheerful giver and God blesses a cheerful giver. So please give cheerfully. You will get lots of blessings. I'd like to introduce our host this morning. Our host is Ms. Vuyo Funeka Memani-Sedile. She is a non-executive director in the Cancer Association of South Africa. But more than that, she is the chairperson of the Cancer Association of South Africa. It is her function and her event that we are attending this morning. I should tell you maybe a little bit about her. She's got a very long resume, and it will take the whole morning to go through it. But I will then just highlight a few interesting things so that we get an insight into who the chairperson of the Cancer Association of South Africa is. As I indicated earlier, Vuyo, we'll call her by her first name, sorry, is an Anglican priest in the Anglican Diocese of Pretoria. But a more interesting fact about her is that she is a karateka. She does karate, and she has the provincial colors of the Northwest. So she's a person who fights physically and a person who fights spiritually as well. Vuyo is a graduate of the University of South Africa, of Rhodes University, of the Australian Institute of Business. She has degrees in accounting, in theology, in business administration, a very capable person that is leading the Cancer Association of South Africa. She is a fellow of the American Council on Education. She has worked independently since 2016. She serves on several boards of several companies and foundations. But she is also a chair of the Council on Higher Education that is responsible for quality and for everything else in higher education in South Africa. So she looks after the interests of all the universities, the regulations, everything that has to do with higher education in South Africa. A very serious responsibility. And I also work for her there as well in one of her committees. Her strength really is in finances and financial matters. She has been the CFO, Chief Financial Officer of the National Gambling Board. Don't worry, she's had nothing to do with any scandals that may have befallen the Gambling Board. She has worked for the Department of Public Works. She has worked for Eskom, and believe me, she has had nothing to do with the load shedding we've had in the past couple of years. And of course, she has worked for the South African breweries as a management accountant and internal audit. That was before she joined CANSA. So her association with an alcoholic-related company was innocent. I am so very happy to give the floor to our host, the chairperson of the Cancer Association of South Africa, Ms. Vuyokazi Funeka Memani-Sedile. Over to you, Vuyo.
Thank you, Martin, and everybody else. And before I start, I want to thank all the people that have been helping me to set up this this occasion, and also thanking Martin for describing someone I don't know. I'm sure that's not me, but thank you, Martin. So, folks, I'm going to do this. Friends, folks, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Martin has welcomed and given you context for our gathering, that the Cuppa is a fundraising event that happens on an annual basis at CANSA. So today is one of those. So this theme of change of seasons reminds me of one of my favorite quotations on which I will frame my thoughts on. A philosopher who wrote on Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 to 8, as Martin said, I am a priest, so I am inclined to use the Bible. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the sun. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. Time to love and time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Indeed, there is a season for everything under the sun. There is season for everything, and seasons change. We don't stay in summer, spring, autumn, or winter for the 12 months of the year. Change is one of those things that are sure, constant, and consistent in our lives. Change comes whether you are ready or not. Sometimes the change can be welcome and positive, but sometimes can be unfortunate, negative, and throw you off balance. But the older I get, I find it easier to accept change, and it is usually less painful. Many of you may have experienced or seen your loved ones being told that they have cancer or other serious health conditions. The shock and anger is usually the first reaction, but the ones that accept reality and seek help, the ones that seek help, the change becomes easier. They find themselves in a gloomy winter, but summer is sure to come at some stage. So it is okay to be sad and mourn, but knowing that there will be time when you are happy again. At those sad times, you need someone to embrace or someone to listen to your needs. CANSA is there for you. You can find all about our service offerings on our website, which we will share as we go. And I've seen Melissa sharing already some of our website details. So we decided to couple our seasons of change with hats to make it fun, but also when we speak, we usually speak of people wearing different hats for different roles. We change our hats every day of our lives. What do I mean? I'm sure this morning you've changed many hats or roles. 1 minute you are a spouse or a partner. Next you're a parent. Next you're an employee or an employer. Next you're a colleague, friend, boss, patient, etc. And we change those hats so easily. So what is my changing of hats at CANSA? I have been on the board for 9 years, and 5 years ago, I took the board chair hat. And now I'm taking off that hat to become an ordinary member of CANSA. In my 9 years, we have had many seasons that we had to go through. My chair role started on a gloomy winter season, November 2019, with the fraud case, qualified audit opinion, and a huge SARS debt. Soon after came the COVID-19 pandemic at the beginning of 2020. Many organizations, especially nonprofits like us, did not survive, but we soldiered on. Income dwindled, and it was sad to downsize by closing offices and letting people go, but it had to be done for survival. It was time to mourn, time to lose, and time to break down, but we have since started growing again. It is true, what does not break you makes you strong. As we emerge through that and now on an upward growth trajectory, stronger than ever and stable staff complement. So now it is time to build up, time to plant, and time to heal from all of those. Our relationships with our stakeholders, especially our government, who rely on us for research and policy advice, even taking us to World Health Organization. Our partnerships with stakeholders, donors, volunteers has also grown. A new season has indeed come. Spring, and I have no doubt that it will be summer soon, and CANSA will have another 90 years. However, they will still have to endure change of seasons as they go. We also learned new things, but we had to do away with old ways. A seed has to die before a new seedling sprouts. Who knew that we could have virtual meetings, work from home without someone looking over your shoulder, and now we have a cuppa tea party. Many inventions are born every day and old ones die. How many of you can remember a bank book, a floppy disk, a stiffy disk, or even a fax machine? I have seen board members and staff come and go, and sadly, some of them passing away. Of course, we have rejoiced, gaining new talent and expertise, whilst we have mourned and cried for those who left us. Now it's my time to leave the board, but I am sure I will find other things to do within CANSA or other nonprofits. Nonprofits or NGOs like us are highly dependent on the goodness of the community, such as your donations, grants. So it's not goodbye, but I thought I would have this Cuppa fundraiser as a step-down gift to CANSA, of course, with your help. You can donate as an individual, as a company. You can volunteer your time. You can invite us to your workplace for screening, or even in your community, so that we can educate and make sure that we lead a healthy lifestyle. Or you can even include us in your will, but I will tell you later as well as to how you can help us. So the philosopher that I quoted at the beginning, he concludes that all we can do is to be happy and do the best we can whilst we are still alive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vuyo, for those words encouraging us to join hands to support the Cancer Association of South Africa, for explaining the work and giving background to this great role that the Cancer Association of South Africa is playing in the lives of so many of our people. Thank you, Vuyo, for having given the last 5 years of your life to lead exceptionally well, for that matter, the Cancer Association of South Africa. Thank you, Reverend. Nyawonhle. Friends, we move on to the next segment of our function this morning. An exciting segment it is going to be as well. It gives me a great honor and a privilege to introduce our next speaker. Let me change my hat. This is my gardening hat. Our next speaker is Miss Laverne Turner-Manuel. Miss Turner-Manuel, Laverne, as she prefers to be called, is a curve model. She will tell you and explain to you what a curve model is. She is also a fashion entrepreneur, a person who is invested in sewing back into the community and into the people who surround her. She has years of experience in women empowerment campaigns and events, ranging from wellness, fashion, beauty, and grief. She continues to use her experience and knowledge to uplift, to inspire, to empower, to heal, and to grow. She is going to share with us a few tips and insights on personal branding. My pleasure to hand over the platform to Laverne.
Thank you so much, Martin, for a glowing introduction. I didn't recognize myself when you just introduced me now, because to me, I'm just Laverne. Also, thank you very much, Vuyo, for this beautiful initiative as a step down. I'm sure, as you can see, we're all going to be having a lot of fun today with our little hats, everybody's version of what their hat is. So, as Martin has said, I am a curve model, aka plus size model. I take offense to neither because I'm extremely proud to say that I'm unique and individual in what it is that I do. So today, with the topic of this event being seasons of change, and a lot of people going through the change of exploring entrepreneurship or you know, just building their own business, whether it be a small business or investing in a business and helping it to grow. I thought it would be such an important topic. I'm going to try and congest it into 10 minutes. So I thought it was so important in seasons of change for people that are wanting to embark on starting a small business. And my segment is called Building Your Brand. So I think something that is extremely important for us to know, if you aren't aware of it already, each of us already are a brand. You being you every day, stepping out of your home, you are selling yourself without even knowing to people around you. So you already are your brand. So when people think of a brand, you think of something tangible, or you think of something you see without realizing you are that every single day. But how do we build on that? How do we grow? How do we get seen and noticed for what it is we're trying to grow or sell or achieve? So for every brand growth, or for every small business, or even for you, if you are your brand, it is important to know that a brand needs to have a brand story. So I know this term is probably foreign. You've probably never heard somebody say a brand story. And what is that? So a brand story is the narrative that you are trying to communicate, your mission, the trust you're trying to build with your audience. That is, what is it that you're trying to actually convey? So things that you need to focus on when you are trying to build your brand, whether it be, like I said, yourself or a small business, is what is the message you want to convey? What do you want to say? Because a lot of the time you think it's about taking a picture, putting it out there and telling people, you know, buy from me, purchase from me, or, you know, but they don't understand what is the message. So it's important to have a message for whatever it is that you are trying to grow. How do you want to present yourself or be perceived? This is very important, because within growing your brand, how do you want people to see you? You get various different kinds of brands, and I use, for lack of a different brand, I've used for the presentation Dolce & Gabbana. I think it is a name, especially if you are young and you love fashion, it is a name that we will all know globally. You can say it in South Africa, and you can say it in Ethiopia, and everybody will know what you are talking about. So how you want to present yourself, when you think of a brand like Dolce & Gabbana, their brand speaks for itself. They present luxury, they present opulence. So these are the words that immediately come to mind when somebody mentions Dolce & Gabbana to you or to anyone in the world. So you can either be perceived as high-end, you can be perceived as fun, you can be perceived as quirky. It just depends on you and what you are trying to, the message you're trying to convey about what your brand stands for. Something that really elevates any brand is individuality. You cannot be like everybody else and expect to grow, because what makes you different? Being different is what will single you out from the crowd, from anyone. So what makes your brands, why should I purchase from you? Why should I support you? What makes you different to somebody doing or selling the exact same thing that you are? And that is exactly the sweet spot. That is exactly where your success for what you are trying to grow or achieve lies, in that individuality. And I know a lot of the time people are very nervous I don't want to stand out. I'm afraid people are going to see me. You need to be seen. You need to stand out. You need to close your eyes and do it. I've heard a saying where people say, do it scared. Do it nervous, do it, but just do it. Don't ever stand in fear, hoping and praying. Yes, Vuyo, with prayer, it's definitely going to help. But you also need to do something. You know, there's a saying, God helps those that helps themselves. So with you hiding your shine, nobody's really going to get to see that, you know. Something else that I think we tend to forget is focusing on our target audience. Who is your target audience? Teenagers, the wealthy, people that relate, that come from my community. What is your target audience? And hone in on that, because you can't shoot the dart into a crowd and expect that people are going to receive it. You need to know who is the people I want to see this message, the people that I want to actually lure with what it is I'm trying to do. So another brand that also on the next slide that I highlighted is, and I think Lucy has the cup in the cuppa, it's Carol Boys. So with the Carol, there we go. So with the Carol Boys brand, although I'm not sure internationally how big they are, but over here you can immediately see when somebody is holding a cup or they have a piece of crockery or whatever it is, you'll know it's a Carol Boys design. They stick to the same simple concept of design. And it's about staying within your niche. When you are doing and all over the place, you lose your audience. They drown out. There is nothing that specifically aligns to who you are and what you are trying to sell. So I have highlighted key elements that produce a great brand story. And a lot of this ties to emotion, because for me to lure you to me, there needs to be a connection. You need to connect with me. The same applies to brands. So one of the elements for a great brand story is empathy, to ensure that your audience can see themselves in your brand. So, or in your story of your brand. So I can connect to people that think like me, that have the same, maybe walk the same path like me, and I'm conveying that message. Empathy is such an important connection point with people when you are trying to build your brand. Another one would be attention grabbing. Your brand needs to have something that is attention grabbing, whether it being a distinct voice, personality, for selling your brand, but you never should waver from that. Stay consistent with what your voice is, with what your personality is, and your message becomes so standard to you that when people hear the story or the voice or the personality of your brand, immediately they know that is you. Being authentic. I think we live in a generation today where a lot of authenticity is being drowned out because everybody is trying to one up the other. I'm trying to be like this one. I'm trying to follow a celebrity trend or look or just way about myself without realizing your authenticity. What makes you different, the way you look, the way you sound, what you wear, how you walk, is exactly what the world needs. We don't need 20 Janet Jacksons here. We're not looking for another, I don't know, celebrity, popular celebrity. What we are looking for is what you bring. What is your essence? What makes you authentic? And that generally will always have people gravitating towards you. So the next point, and also a very important point, you need to be relatable. I can sell you a high-end product, but not everybody would be able to necessarily afford the product. They can't relate to it, or they haven't even heard of the product. But when I'm relatable to you and I speak on a level that you and I both can understand, we might not all come from the same background, but there is a common human way of relating to people for them to understand us. So being relatable is extremely important when you are trying to build your brand. Authenticity, relatability, all these, I would say, humble attributes are actually what makes these people that have achieved greatness stand out. If you think of all the real great names, and I'm not talking about celebrity culture, stardom, any of that. I'm talking about people that have really salt of the earth people, whether we're talking about a Gandhi or we're talking about whatever you were talking about, these people were authentic to who they were. They were relatable on some level to everyone. There was something we could relate to. Being consistent. Something that is extremely hard to do because we are very busy, and trying to being consistent with what you're doing to try and build your brand can get hard, especially if you have a family, you have a job, but if you are trying to grow a brand, you're going to have to make the time to be consistent. It's about making that time, whether you set aside 5 to 10 minutes a day at a minimum. Try and remain consistent in getting that message out across, getting your brand in front of people. It is so vital because you lose people along the way. You drown them out when you are sharing what you're trying to build today, and then they don't hear from you for another month. So remaining consistent is extremely important. And also in the consistency, getting people to look forward to what you're going to bring out next. Always keeping people on their toes. They need to get excited. I can't wait to see what Martin is bringing out next, So these are very important things to focus on as well. It needs to be aligned with your business goals. So your brand story should be aligned in all areas of your business, in your marketing, in your sales, in your communication. You should speak in all areas of your business with one voice. And I think this is extremely important. Provoking action. Today, we are so blessed to have social media. It helps us to get what we're trying to convey in front of thousands of people on a daily. We underestimate the power that we hold in our hands every single day to get a message across. So provoking action with being able to use your social media. Ask your audience, what they'd like to see. Ask them who you'd like, or what designs you'd like them to bring across, and that sort of thing. So using what you have and consider as your mobile phone can open so many doors for you in terms of business. As mentioned before, consistency and engagement. Engagement is vital. So when you have an audience and they comment on your social media, because that is where you predominantly, I'm assuming, would be doing a lot of your marketing, especially today. When they are commenting, ensure that you reply, engage, like, build that relationship, because it also builds trust. And then they'll share your brand with their friends because they've built that rapport, that relationship with you, and tell a story. Whenever you are sharing or putting something in front of people and presenting it to them, share the story of whatever it is that you are wanting to put before them. Share how you started. People are very interested in knowing the history or understanding where a concept came from. Start talking to your audience. Building that is so vital and so important. And it, again, builds relationships. Share content from people that you follow. So as much as we want people to share our business, how are we going to build that with them if we don't do the same? It is so important for us to be able to build the relationships by also doing for people what we want them to do for us. So if I share Martin's post or Vuyo's post, she'll remember me next time and do the same for me. And that is where we are building that camaraderie amongst each other and a family where we're actually supporting each other in business growth and long-term growth, even as friends or however you choose to take it on from there. Doing polls from time to time is so good to understand where your business is and how people are feeling about building your brand and whether you're going wrong. So something I tend to do from time to time, I put out a poll and I'll ask random questions to get a feel of how I'm being perceived in that time as a brand with my audience and what they expect to see from. I even put the question out there, let me know what it is you'd like me to share next or post next, or what are important topics you'd like me to cover. These are important things for us to be able to build that on our brand, is to understand also, I might have a perception of myself, but 20,000 people out there look at me and see me very different to how I see myself and my brand. So it is important to understand that sometimes we don't always get it right, and requesting feedback on that is so important. Something I think CANSA does very well, is building a network. So creating events, coffee mornings, networking events, vital for brand awareness and brand growth, because that is how we stay connected. We also learn from one another when we are connecting with various people. An idea I would have never thought of before that could work for my brand, I've come to know because of having a coffee morning with random strangers. So building a network is fundamental for expansion, for growth. And I think this is one area where I can definitely say I take my hat off to CANSA, because you do that so very well. So that is a condensed version of my presentation. So good luck, and remember that failure is vital for success. You can never be successful if you have never experienced failure. You can't win or progress without it. Constantly try to find ways to improve, even from the things that didn't work. So thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Laverne, for those insights on how to tell a successful personal story through appropriate branding tactics and strategies. Thank you very much. I don't know if everybody can see, I'm putting on another hat with a cow in front, It's my family totem. Our clan are called the Nkomo. So that is our family totem. That's why I'm wearing this hat now, part of my identity. Thank you very much. Most exciting and most insightful, Laverne, and best wishes to you as well. We move now to the next segment of our function this morning, a very interesting and exciting segment. We're going to have an online quiz. So we're going to ask our audiences to have their wits about them and to participate in our quiz. There will be prizes to be won. Perhaps I can whet your appetite and get you interested in the quiz so you can participate. Before I head over to Lucy, who will take us through the quiz, let me just give you a sense of what the prizes are. The first prize is a set of CANSA cuppas, the mugs. They will be displayed on the screen shortly. That's the first prize. The second prize is a Rugani hamper from our CANSA Seal of Recognition partner in the edible consumer goods category. Rugani Juice is a proudly South African brand producing 100% vegetable and fruit juices and growing hydro-cooled carrots. That's Rugani, with our second prize. The third prize is a lovely hat that was sponsored by Urban Supply Hats, who are also a CANSA Seal of Recognition partner in the protection category. They have been partners for many years, keeping our consumers safe from the sun. So those are the three prizes, and I hope I've gotten you excited, and I'm happy to hand over to Lucy to take us through the quiz. Please participate as fully and as much as you can. Over to you, Lucy.
Good morning, Martin, and thank you so much. You look like a cowboy from Yellowstone, the series. I can imagine you now on that horse. So, I am Lucy Bologna, the CANSA spokesperson, and I want to take this opportunity to say thank you very much, Vuyo, for doing this. You're doing more than just being a chairperson. You are walking the talk and hosting this, and we are very grateful as the CANSA Association. And this is the education part. So in your chat box, you will see that a link has been placed there, and you are going to be taking that quiz. So what you need to, and Catherine has also posted it. So what you need to do is you need to go on there. You can also do it on your phone. There are going to be a couple of questions. I think there's only 7. Okay. And on those questions, you will see, there we go. It's multiple choice. So you get to choose your questions, and you must put your name and details. Otherwise, we won't know who the top 3 winners are, and then we can't give you the prize. So this is open to everybody on here. We'd like you all to take part. There'll be time before we close it. We'll let you know in the chat box when it's closed. So we want to know what you have learned about the CANSA Association, or just generally learning about how to lower your risk. So some of the questions are, what are the top 5 cancers? Does the cancer risk increase if there's a family history of cancer? What are the cancer values? So, those kind of fun questions. And then we will share the answers near the end and when we announce the winners. So we hope you're going to learn. There will be time. Now we've got some other activity happening. So please make sure that you all take the quiz. There's going to be a video now, and we'll tell you as soon as that quiz closes. Okay, so we hope that you all take part and that you will learn something. I'm going to hand over back to you now, Martin.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lucy. Our audience, please click on that link, participate in the quiz, and let's see what you have learned and what you know about cancer. While you are doing that, we will be showing a video on telecounseling. So We're going to roll it now, and you can also use this opportunity to go and refill your mug with another innocent and alcohol-free beverage. Thank you. Let us watch the telecounseling video. Thank you.
Hello, ndidinga uthetha nomntu.
Cancer Association, good day. Melissa speaking.
Hello, ke qeta ho fumana hore ke na le lefu la mofetshe.
To help people who are desperate. You know, it's such a reward for us, but also a blessing for the public. Just from a point of view that, you know, there's someone that they can still talk to. Even if it is just for something as simple as, I'd like to know where I can maybe get a wig during this time. Or I really do need to speak to somebody because I can't deal with my diagnosis.
Ik is Loesel Kibero. Ik is 51 jaar oud. Ik is al in 1998 de eerste keer gediagnoseerd met kanker.
We'll be offering an appointment-based counselling service for patients, any new diagnosis or anyone who's got an existing diagnosis but is maybe looking for help. We will extend our services as well to loved ones, family members, any parent of a child who has cancer.
So sabona ba le service ngayi service ebalulekileyo kakhulu ebantwini. Bangavele bafone and then balifumana uncedo from i-telephone. Kom ek sê vir die mense, tel op die telefoon. Tel dit op. Jy weet nie wat aan die ander kant van die lyn gaan gebeur nie. Praat. As jy nie gaan praat, gaan niemand weet wie jy voel nie.
Omdat ons kankerpasiënte se immuunstelsel so laag is hulle hoë risiko en hierdie telefoniese ondersteuningsdiens bring dan ons ondersteuning vanaf die kankervereniging van Suid-Afrika tot binne die huis van ons pasiënt.
So sifuna bonke abantu bakwazi ufikelela kuthi nge-language zabo abazithethayo emakhaya.
Dit gaan baie beteken vir die pasiënte, want dit beteken dat CANSA die grense van dorpe gaan wegneem.
We are there to say that cancer cares and that they're not alone.
Bazofumana uncedo abaludidayo.
You make that choice. It's not an easy choice. It's going to be challenging, but you can.
We've always done counselling face-to-face. We've got our support groups. It was a talk that telecounselling was something we wanted to do, and lockdown just helped us get us there faster because we saw how people needed it.
Let me remind you what the prizes are. The first prize is a set of copper mugs. Look at how lovely these are. There is a set for all 4 seasons. The second prize is from our sponsor, our seal of recognition partner, a Rugani hamper. Rugani juice, they produce 100% vegetable fruit juices and growing hydro-cooled carrots. Our third prize is a hat, a wonderful hat, sponsored by Urban Supply Hats, who are also Cancer Seal of Recognition partners. I'd like now to move to our next segment this morning. It is the hat parade. As you've been seeing since we started, we've been wearing hats and changing our hats and so forth. But to start off this hat parade, I would like to introduce a special guest. The young lady's name is Thandiwe, and she just happens to me to be Vuyo's daughter. So she's also giving of her time freely, participate and make a contribution to Mom Cuppa morning. Thank you, Thandiwe.
Thank you. Morning, everyone. So there are many ways to wear a doek, but I have created a short tutorial just for everyone to know my signature style. So please enjoy the video.
A quick tutorial on how to tie a head wrap like this. Firstly, you want to start with your head wrap long ways. Put it simply over your head, tie a knot, and pull it through. Tension can be as you desire. Then you want to twist your ends around each other like you're making a simple twist braid. Tuck in the ends. If you've got dangly ends, tuck them in. Twist it around itself. And then we simply tuck it in underneath.
So there it is, a very short and sweet tutorial on how I usually wear my doek. So I hope everyone tries it. It really is, when you want something that looks really nice with low effort, that is the way I tend to go. So enjoy.
Thank you, Tandiwe. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, Tandy. I don't know, are men allowed to wear dukes as well?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Tandy, for that duke. I have a couple of hats here in front of me. What I'm wearing now is a cap. I've got a number of these. I'm a motor racing fan, so I've got for my favorite team, which is Mercedes-Benz. It will change next year to be Ferrari. But the one I currently am wearing is my family one. My other hat is this one that I use when I'm doing gardening. I grow my own veggies and my own herbs for cooking. So I eat it freshly from my garden. So on a hot summer day like today, I would be wearing this in the garden. The first hat that I wore, this is my lobola hat. I've had the fortune to be asked to lead delegations to go and pay lobola, in other words, ask for a bride. And as a sign of respect to the family of the lady we are visiting, I wear this hat. But I also wear this hat when I go to the jazz club on a Friday evening to look cool. Then I have this cowboy hat, which I wear randomly just when I feel like. Vuyo, do you have hats that you want to show?
Of course, Martin, I do. As you can see, I'm wearing my doek, which you can also buy from the e-shop. This is the doek for Paulina, isn't it, Lucy? We sell them in the e-shop, and it was tied by my little daughter, Tandiwe's sister. She wanted me to have Tandiwe's signature doek. So you can also get this if you don't know where to get a doek from our e-shop. And I also have the hat when I'm going out on a picnic and I want to look cool like Martin. Then I put this. This is also from one of the CANSA seal partners, because so it's it does help with the sun, so that you don't go out in the sun and get sunburned, which could lead to cancer. And then the first one that I wore earlier on, this one. I'm sure you can see I look like regal when I am mother of the house, the matron of the Sedile house, and being Mrs. Sedile, I wear this one. Laverne, do you have any hats that you want to show us?
I've brought a beret. So The other hat you saw yesterday, so I brought this one also. But other than that, no, I don't have too many hats.
Thank you. You're looking cool, Laverne, looking cool. Look like you belong in the streets of Paris.
Yes, it's giving me wee-wee.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Perhaps is there somebody in the audience who would like to show us their head? How do they do that, Vuyo? Do they just click and raise their hand? How do they do that? If anybody in the audience would like to show off their head.
Well, actually, Martin would like to see everybody on a screen, and then for them to highlight. I think Emmanuel, they have to put up their hand so that we can see them closer. Because there's also a prize for the best hats in the house. So please put on your cameras and show us what you have. You've seen what we have, so we want to see what you have.
Yo, look at Vuyokazi, beautiful. Can we spotlight perhaps on Vuyokazi? There we go. Oh, it's a leaf. How clever is that? And JD, I like the way somebody called JD's got a beautiful also spotlight. Look at that. Very nice.
It's Julia. That's beautiful. If you want to win, please put up your hand so that I can see who's got the beautiful hat.
Daneo, let's spotlight on Daneo. Flowers seem to be quite a theme with the hats. Look at that.
It's spring.
Spring.
I saw somebody sitting in San Francisco
nice, Angelique.
Yes. That's also very beautiful. Sunflowery. Go ahead, go. Emmanuel, that would be cheating if you win. And the others, you don't want to show us your hats?
I love that hat, Lucy. That is like, I love it.
It reminds me of skiing in the snow. I was very fortunate to go skiing once, and these were the winter hats at the time.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of being in the snow because it's so warm.
This is giving away my age, but if you read Hagar the Horrible in the papers on a Sunday, that's exactly the hat.
Yes, and Obelix and what's
Obelix. That's it.
We are showing our age. Those were comics. We didn't have social media.
Yeah.
Yes, Cacophonics.
And then can we have the camera for the last time so that I can choose a winner for the hat parade? Everybody that's got a hat on. I understand other people are not able to show us their hats. Pumela, I can't see. Yes. Oh, you've got the Zulu hat or a duke. Yeah. I must say I love the summery theme or the spring theme. It's gonna be difficult. How many prizes do I have, Lucy, for this one?
You've got, maybe Emmanuel can show us the beautiful cinnamon hat.
Yeah.
We've only got the one, but we might have a beautiful doek from Pink Trees for Pauline. So perhaps we could offer that as a second prize.
Like the doek that I had just now. Yes.
Yes.
One of those. Okay. Dineo and Julia are my winners.
That's wonderful. We're still doing good for time, though we're edging closer and closer to the end there of our function this morning. We're into the afternoon already. Thank you very much to our participants for showing us your hats and your headgears. I see some people are wearing what we call umkhele or the crown and so forth. It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for participating in this very interesting segment in our function this morning, our head parade. Thank you. And thank you, Vuyo, for choosing our winner.
Interestingly, I can share that the majority of people are getting the top 5 men cancers confused and not correct, and the same with women. So so the top 5 cancers, for some reason, people think pancreas cancer is in the top 5, which is not correct. But it's good to know. So we're going to learn about that. And then with women, people are choosing ovarian, which is not in the top 5. So if you didn't get those 2 right, but we are now analyzing to choose the correct top 3, and then we can announce the winners. But I can quickly go through the questions. The top 5 cancers in men, I can give you the correct answer. Do you want me to just share the correct answer now, or shall we share it when we give the results?
Can you, while we're waiting for the results, can you give us the correct answer to learn something?
So, the top 5 cancers in men is prostate, very high amongst men. Then you've got colon, lung, melanoma. So, and then non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, you know, we've been talking a lot about our cancer seal and protection of the sun, and melanoma has just creeped in the last few years in the top 5 cancers. So it is not pancreatic. And then in terms of women, the top 5 cancer is breast, cervical, colon, uterine, and melanoma. So melanoma and colon are now in the top 5 cancers amongst men and women. So very important that we are sharing information about that and how you can lower your risk. The sad thing about melanoma is that it can spread to other parts of the body. So very important that we are educating about melanoma. I'm just checking. Oh, the thing hasn't come through yet. And then we've got the second question was your lifestyle choices. Can your lifestyle choices impact your cancer risk? And true. And then I just want to see, what was the third question? Oh, about your lowering your cancer risk. Definitely things that we can do. So if we are making sure that we eat right, that we avoid alcohol, tobacco, we go for regular screening, physical movement, very important. All of those are ways that we can lower the cancer risk. So definitely that was the correct answer. Then the other one was, does the cancer, if the cancer risk increase if there's a family history of cancer? The answer is true. Yes, it does. So if you have a family member who has cancer, that risk increases. And then the cancer values. The cancer values are, I always remember there are 2 I's. So improvement, integrity, accountability, passion, and leadership. So those are our values. And then the one question was the isiZulu name for hat. Martin, what is the answer for, what is the correct answer? The choice was, I hope I say this correctly, Isikolos, Umkhele, and Ibanchi.
Not Ibanchi. It's Tolo, yeah. Umkhele is a crown.
Aha.
And Lucy, is it Tolo? Looks exactly like the hat that I'm wearing now. It's Zulu, it's Tolo.
Ah, there we go. Okay. I'm interested to see, there's the gentleman with that he had like a very nice, I think, is he still here or is he left?
In Zulu, it's called Umkhele.
Shame he left, Lucy. He that he had to leave, yeah.
And what was the significance? How is that just in isiZulu culture?
That one he was wearing is Xhosa.
Ah, Xhosa.
The isiZulu one has got like a animal skin on it. It's not made of beads. It's got like an animal things around it, and with almost like a goat skin that has been shaped. And in front, it is pointed towards in the front. It's called Umkhele.
I always wondered.
Also, people use a crown made of beads.
Yeah.
And the Khoi and the San people use the one that's like the Zulu one, Umkhele, the one that's made of animal skin. The Khoi and the San people.
So friends, thank you very much again. And firstly, if you want to buy the set of the cups that we just showed you now, you can buy a beautiful set of the Seasons Cuppa. It's 220 for a set of 4. And you can put in your orders with Angelique, I think. It's adivet@cansa.org.za, and the details will be put there and they will be delivered to you. And I'd like to thank, first of all, everyone who donated or bought a ticket to be here. And those who donated extra had because on the website it asked if we could donate an extra, and thank you very much for those that have done that. And you can still ask your friends and your colleagues that it will still be open for them to do the donation if they would like to. And I would like to thank the CANSA team, especially the CEO. When I told her that this is what I'm thinking of doing, and she ran with it. The marketing team led by Lucy for running with the planning. So Lucy and your team, thank you very much. It's been fun planning this. It was really fun. And our technology team, led by Emmanuel and Kat, we wouldn't be able to do this if they were not here. And they do all of this for CANSA. So we really appreciate you being our partner in that. Martin, you have done a sterling work. And of course, your wicked sense of humor, which I'm sure people didn't miss, but sometimes you could if you don't understand your dry sense of humor. But thank you very much. And thank you for agreeing to do that. I'm sure you could have been doing something else. Laverne, I know you want to leave before 1, and thank you very much for you to be able to agree and volunteer your time and do the masterclass. And also we saw on your socials that you were promoting this event. And thank you, Tandy, for your masterclass, for your quick masterclass, how to wear a duke. And we also want to thank those that are not here, but they did buy tickets, but they couldn't, or they had donated. But I also believe that we would be able to send them a link if they do want to watch. Am I right, Emmanuel? Yes. And also you can go back to your friends that wanted to be here but couldn't, because they can still donate and be able to watch, but they will miss out on the prizes. Unfortunately, they've been taken. And of course, in our events, we always acknowledge our survivors and the caregivers for being strong and being supportive to friends and family. And remember, CANSA is here, and we are a phone call away, as you saw in that video, that we are here for the support and everything. And lastly, as we said at the beginning, the purpose of the Cuppa is for us to fundraise. And sometimes you may ask yourself, what do you need the money for? So I will just tell you some few things that we do with the money. We educate, as you can see that we just now, Lucy was educating us. So we go out there and educate the communities. We do the advocacy, and when we, go to government and advocate for those people that are living with cancer, and also influence the policy. We do research. The fact sheets that we're talking about, they are actually based on research, which we do in collaboration with our partners at the universities. We do have lodges for some of the people that can't afford to stay in hotels and other things, when they need to go nearer to places where they do, where there's oncology departments, because we know in our country, not all the hospitals in smaller towns have oncology departments. And also we have TLC lodges for teenagers and children, so that they can stay with their parents whilst they go undergoing treatment. Counseling, as you could see that on the video, that we do provide counseling for both the patients and the family and friends and caregivers. And of course, we give support to the patients and to the survivors so that they can continue. So that's what we do with the money. So what can you do? You can donate. in cash. And there is the QR code there, or you can go to the website. You can volunteer your time if you do not have cash, or your skill. We need the skills to help us all the time. Or you could even donate some of your stuff, because we do have secondhand shops where we can sell this. And you can also help with the activities when we have activities wherever we are. And lastly, you can also host your own cuppa. This is not just for people within CANSA. You can always volunteer, but you can speak to to Lucy and them as to how you would be able to do that. And hopefully this is not the last time you have a cuppa with me, and maybe you might even try a person to person so that we can see each other. It's still nice to have a human touch. And lastly, Lucy, do we have the results?
Yes,
Let's do that before we close.
So, can you believe that our CEO got all the questions right? So our CEO, she's actually donating the prize. So she said she will donate the prize. Okay, this is there are only 3 prizes. So she said whatever she wins must please be donated. But then we've got Daphne and Tandiwe and Emmanuel. So well done. Nobody saw the survey except Melissa and I and Vuyo at the time. So those are our top 3 winners. So we will get the prizes to you. And thank you very much to our seal partners that donated. I just need to get Daphne's. Well, if everybody registered, you would have we would have had your details. So well done to all of you.
Thank you. Last word from you, Martin, before we close.
Thank you. Thank you very much to our host, Vuyo, to our participants. Remember, the target is to top 50,000 rands. So there is still room to make donations. Thank you very much for participating. I don't have to repeat all the people that Vuyo thanked, but thanks very much to everybody. Vuyo, you have to have the last word. I can't be the last person to speak. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Lastly, before we close, there were 20 of us, I think, here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match all the registration fees for all the people that were here to go into that donation box. So I'm hoping that everybody else will go back and see what they can do and match what we have, so that we can get closer to the to that 50,000 that we are working on. It's not closed just because we had cuppa today. We're gonna open it for some time. Lucy, when are we gonna close it?
We can actually keep it open until the end of the month. However many times you'd like to.
Okay, we can do that. But lastly, before we say goodbye, I would like us to have a last cheer with whatever we have. The last cheer is actually the logo for CANSA. Cheers to cancer-free world.
Cheers.
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 And folks, thank you very much for your time. I hope you have a good day further, and thank you everyone for